Okay, I am the problem. I went on a date with this guy and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening. And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay? Like, what? And like, I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna sleep with him. I just now I feel ugly. This is why.
I'm actually impressed with how much ground she covered with such a short clip. There are many useful, teachable moments in this clip, and we're gonna go through them one by one. So fellas, strap in. Here we go.
Okay, I am the problem.
Why, yes, you most certainly are. But the fact you're able to admit that up front tells me that there may be hope for you yet. You just might find your way back to being useful at some point in the future, because you can't solve a problem you can't admit to. So kudos to you for that.
I went on a date with this guy and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening.
So while on the date, she meets his offer to escalate the interaction about going back to his place with an immediate and entirely unnecessary shit test. Make no mistake, fellas, that's exactly what this was. Because women who find you at all attractive, they're going to bring this up in conversation because, first of all, if she's not attracted to you, the absolute last thing she's going to do is bring up sex at all. If she didn't find you attractive, she doesn't want you thinking about it. She likes this guy, at least facially. So she brought up the I'm not going to sleep with you just to test him, see what he's going to do. Which is entirely bullshit, because if you don't want it, then just why are you even here? Wasting my time and money. We're going to get into that in a second.
And he was like, that's totally fine. Just come over. And I was like, cool. So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, are you gay?
And here we land right in the middle of the sign language, fellas. The shaming language, the insults, the guilt trips, and the need to be right. She told him that she wasn't going to give him any. I don't know if it was pouring down rain or if it was snow. I don't know. But for whatever reason, rather than cut the date off right there, this guy decided to let her come over to his place. Fine, his call. But one thing I'm glad about he didn't do is beg, plead, and cry about it. He just fell asleep. He told her, you won't get no attention from me. You're here just because you're here. Fine. And this ticked her off because now she decided to throw a slur at him. That him being a homosexual is the only reason why he didn't put himself in harm's way. But we're going to get more into that in a moment as well. The arrogance of these chicks, man.
Like, what? And like, I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean?
She finally admits it. And this is why I was going to say before. There's a 0% chance this woman is a virgin. Why? Because she has tattoos. And I know some people think, why would you say that? How could you think that? Well, because tattoos are extraordinarily masculine. And on a woman, they indicate sexual trauma, open rebellion, most likely against her parents or the patriarchy, and or an inability to say no to peer pressure. But make no mistake, fellas, there's a 0% chance that this woman is a virgin. There's a 0% chance if she's in her mid to early 20s that she left high school with her virginity intact. So why is she playing this innocent role with this guy on this date? Simple. She's trying to get this guy to overinvest, to get him on the hook by pretending she still has virtue. It still needs to be protected. It's embarrassing. But good looking out for our guy here for denying her access to the hard-to-get game that she wanted to play. He cut her objectives off right at the kneecaps. That's exactly what should have happened. And I'm glad about it.
I wasn't going to sleep with him. I just now I feel ugly. This is why.
So the bottom line is you're a liar and a time waster. And you're also extremely conceited. Bear in mind, fellas, she said her objective was to deny this man access to the cheeks. She was not going to give up none, but still wanted him to fight to get access to it, to say no, to pad her ego. This maniac with a cup size is sitting over here saying that she now feels ugly because the movie she starred in, directed, and executive produced in between her ears, this guy didn't play his role properly. And because he didn't do what she anticipated him doing, now she don't feel as attractive as she did before the date started. First of all, let me say this. The date quite possibly took place in the evening. Maybe in the later part of that night. Maybe it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock when they got to his house. Who knows? Depending on what the date was, what they were doing, it could have been 1, 2 in the morning. We all understand the unwritten laws. We understand the unwritten rules that are effectively really etched in stone. If you're going over a man's house that time of night, everybody involved knows what the implications are. So you playing games really is wasting this man's time and money. And that was the goal by her own admission. See, and I know somebody's going to embarrass themselves down in my comment section. So before you do, let me give you some information that's helpful. Okay? Fellas, it is almost always a waste of your time in a relationship setting to listen to a single word the woman has to say. Now, if she's your boss, that's fine. Do what she says. You don't want to get fired. If she's law enforcement, do what she says. You don't want to get shot. If it's your mom, do what she says. Honor thy mother and father, that your days might be long upon the earth, which the Lord thy God gives thee. It's a commandment, which means it's not a suggestion. Fine, do that. But when it comes to the male-female sexual / sensual relationships, it's very, very little she's going to say that's worth listening to. Proof positive. The one exception that I will offer up is if she says anything in the no, don't touch that, take your hands off of me realm of discussion or body language. If you find yourself in a position with a woman and she says anything in that sphere, you need to listen to her very, very carefully. You need to put about a yard, or for my guys over in the UK and Canada and other places around the world who use the metric system, you need to put a meter of space between you and she. Put your pants on, buckle your belt, zip up your zipper, and put your hands where she can see them. Because the last thing you want to do is end up indicted and behind bars on bad paperwork. For you guys who don't have any experience with jail, never been, or you don't have any family or friends who've been, that's slang. Bad paperwork means you're in there on some bad charges from the prisoner's perspective. They don't care if you're in there for an armed robbery. They cool with drug charges. You in there for assault and battery, most of them are. But if you're in there because you touched a kid, or you hurt old people, or you're in there for a sexual crime against women, that's a real quick and easy way to get bled out in the shower or in the child line waiting for your meal. They'll turn you into Swiss cheese for that. And that's not how I want you guys to end up. It's a fate that's the easiest at all possible to avoid. And shout out to this guy for not letting her put him in that position. He didn't take nothing without asking, because he didn't even bother to ask in the first place. And that's where she's so upset, because it didn't go how she scripted it in her head. Nah, fellas, get your passports, man. Get your passports and get the fuck out of here, bro. Save your money. Don't date Western women. Don't date them. Don't date them. Pick up those extra shifts. Ask the boss man for every overtime hour your payroll can squeeze in your direction. Stack your paper and either renew your passport because you let it expire like a crazy person, or B, get your very first passport. Get your ass on a plane or a boat and get the fuck out of here. Because the West is full of idiot dingbats like this who want to suck up your time and experiences and give you nothing in return. Get out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. On a side note, I want to thank you guys for watching. For those of you who haven't, I'm going to link down and I'm going to pin to the top comment my Rumble channel. My Rumble channel contains all of the videos YouTube forced me to delete from my channel right before they demonetized the channel. And they're over there safe and sound because Rumble doesn't have all the crazy ass rules to follow over there. They're much more free speech minded. So if you haven't been to the Rumble channel, like I said, the link will be pinned down to the top comment. Go by, check it out, and they'll also have some newer content there as well. Also, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's donated to the Cash App. You guys have been absolutely outstanding, much appreciated, because that is probably the truest form of content support that you can probably give me, because Cash App donations are entirely out of YouTube's jurisdiction, and they can't take a single cent away from me like they can with Super Thanks, even though Super Thanks are cool, and I do love them as well. With that said, fellas, that's my time. Like the video, comment down below, share with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Never let your brother suffer in silence when the truth can set him free. Networkers, we working. Until next time.